Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Welcome to World of Wrestling, here today to discuss about AEW Dynamite July 28th, 2021 review. I just want to mention Impact Wrestling's episode for July 22nd. I did happen to watch that. I didn't really come around of doing a review. I've been uploading a lot of videos for you guys, so I thought I'd take a week off from doing the review. But I did watch the episode for Impact Wrestling from last Thursday. I promise you guys I will upload a video for tomorrow's episode, not on the day of Thursday, but I will do that sometime either over the weekend or... Well, they actually have a homecoming pay-per-view for an Impact Plus special, so I'll be watching that and give you guys a review on that possibly over the weekend. Maybe not on Saturday, but definitely on Sunday. And I will provide you guys an actual review on Impact Wrestling's July 29th episode for tomorrow. So keep an eye out for those two reviews. I will definitely upload them, as I just mentioned. So keep an eye out for those two events. This episode of Dynamite, what can I say? Was there good wrestling? Yeah, there was some good wrestling. There was a little bit of questioning going on about the World Heavyweight Championship. I'm a little concerned about who is supposed to face Kenny Omega for his world title at All Out. Is it even going to be Hangman Page? I don't think it's going to be, now that he lost, with this stipulation being the case that if his team lost, nobody was getting a championship opportunity against the Elite, the tag team titles, nor the world championship. So that leaves things a little bit in limbo or in question. Personally, you guys may think I'm crazy to be saying this, and it may be far-fetched and jumping the gun a little too soon, but I think Malachi Black would be the perfect person to go with for this matchup, for a world title opportunity. You have Cody Rhodes get his ass kicked, which he did tonight. He went ahead and got his ass kicked. Next week, he will be facing Malachi Black in a singles match. What better way to get Malachi Black over to being an absolute destroyer and just annihilate fucking Cody Rhodes to oblivion, kicking his head clean off his shoulders and pinning him to the mat decisively. 1, 2, 3. I think that would be great. That's number one. I asked my friend, Matt, who has been on this channel before in the past, when we used to have random wrestling talk, which we will probably bring that back again very soon, probably in 2022, or maybe later on this year. I'm going to get in talks with him about that, to see what he thinks about us getting that show back on the air. But yeah, folks, I honestly think Malachi Black would be the perfect person to give him that jetpack and push him all the way to the fucking moon. Because the only other two guys I can think of is CM Punk and Daniel Bryan to take the title off of Kenny Omega. Now, you're either going to make him lose it all out, or you're going to make him lose at the September 22nd episode, where they're going to be competing in front of fucking a humongous crowd, probably the largest crowd AEW's ever going to see in their history since 2019. So, I think probably the September 22nd episode is where we are going to see Kenny Omega lose the World Championship. I don't think he's going to lose the title at All Out. He might possibly not even defend the title at All Out. They may put that on hold. They may have the whole CM Punk as the main event spot for the show to introduce a new person. For all we know. You never fucking know. Hell, we may see CM Punk come out, challenge Kenny Omega for the world title for the 22nd, CM Punk may win the World Heavyweight Championship. And in that same night, Daniel Bryan shows up and stares down CM Punk in the middle of the fucking ring after he wins the World Championship. Who the hell knows? This is some good stuff. It leaves things in questions very hard to predict at this point. The only other person that's been solid on the roster consistently that I could see even challenging for the title, I don't know about winning it, but challenging for the title one-on-one is Orange Cassidy. He's the only person right now, besides Hangman Page, that I can even imagine challenging for the World Championship one-on-one. Because he never got that one-on-one opportunity because him and Pac were both challenging for the world title at Double or Nothing. So, is that probably the best option, you guys think? You think the best option would be Orange Cassidy, who has history with Kenny Omega, who he almost beat for the world title? They haven't went back and talked about that yet, but they do have quite a few weeks left over to build up towards this matchup at All Out. I mean, they got plenty of time. August 4th would be the starting point of possibly doing that. So that's my attitude on that. They also mentioned that at Rampage August 20th episode, they're going to be at the United Center in Chicago, Illinois. This could be the place where they bring CM Punk onto the show to get people hyped up to buy the pay-per-view and see him in action. This might be where he challenges Kenny Omega for the World Heavyweight title on August 20th. He may challenge him for the belt for All Out, and there's your build right there. I mean, there ain't much you need to do right there at all. I wouldn't have a problem with him challenging for the title, but winning the championship? Fuck no. I don't want to see that. CM Punk does not need to be winning any fucking world championship right out of the gate. Neither does Daniel Bryan. I don't think neither one of these guys should become world heavyweight champion right out of the gate. Should they even be going after a mid-card title? Hell no. Once they've got them under some wins and they got them, built up, that is when they should be challenging for the world title. They don't have to, do that mid-card title shit and work their way all the way up. That's kind of stupid. They've already established themselves as worldwide known performers. So at this point, they should just be able to go ahead and be able to do what they want to do, and that's work their way through wins and then challenge for the world championship. CM Punk and Kenny Omega in Chicago's, CM Punk's hometown, Chicago, Illinois, at All Out would be a great idea. I think it would be an awesome idea. I don't think he should win because, honestly, I think that should be saved for the September 22nd episode, and that is where Kenny Omega should lose the World Heavyweight Championship. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think about my setup on the booking for the World Heavyweight title, and we'll go from there. But honestly, it's either CM Punk or Orange Cassidy at this point. I would definitely go with Orange Cassidy. Maybe even give him the World Championship for all we know. I mean, that would be pretty fucking awesome. Nobody would probably expect that to happen either. So that's just the case. But yeah, the opener was a 5-on-5 elimination match with Hangman Page and the rest of the Dark Order against the Elite with Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and the Good Brothers. This was actually a good matchup. Despite the ending, I thought it was an awesome match. Very fun stuff. A lot of good action that took place in this show, or this match anyway. The ending just really didn't work for me. I was really hoping that Hangman Page was going to be the guy to finally take the title off of Kenny Omega. Instead, they kind of threw us a swerve. Now, I mean, they could always work something in there where they still get Hangman Page to challenge for the World Heavyweight title. If that's the case, that's fine with me. I mean, if it was just done to make sure that the Dark Order don't get a title shot for the tag titles, then I guess that's okay. But the stipulation was, if his team lost, neither the Dark Order or him would get a world championship opportunity. So a world championship and a tag team title opportunity. So I don't know, man. That was very strange. I was expecting Hangman Page to pull off a victory with a 3-on-1 handicap near the end, and he only was able to eliminate one of them. The rest of them, they both Kenny Omega and I think it was Nick Jackson. Yeah, I think it was Nick Jackson that was still there. Managed to put him away and end the whole thing. Next up on the card was Santana Ortiz versus FTR, Dax Hardwood and Cash Wheeler. This matchup was an okay match, but there was one small problem, and I noticed this. Near the end, they were on the top rope, and they looked like they were trying to do a suplex off the top rope. The referee looked like he was trying to hear something in his earpiece, and he was saying up to the guys on the top rope, saying, "Hey, man, you guys better hurry it up." I think that's what he was saying. I could kind of read his lips, and it sounded like he said, "You guys may want to hurry this up." And so they go ahead and they try to make a quick finish. The whole thing comes across a little awkward. I think Dax Hardwood hits the brainbuster and gets the 1, 2, 3 on, I believe it was Santana. And FTR wins this match. This ending was kind of weak as well. Not as bad. I mean, it was actually worse than the 5-on-5 elimination matchup, though. 5-on-5 elimination match was awesome, though. But it's just, I figured that Hangman Page was going to win that match. Next was Lance Archer defending his United States Championship from New Japan Wrestling against Hukula, I believe, or Haikula is his name. He's a Samoan wrestler. And this match wasn't too bad either. This was a very solid matchup, very entertaining stuff. Not really anything on this card was that bad, to be quite frank with you. But it was pretty much all average. I mean, there was nothing too crazy except for the main event, which I'll get into. Oh, God. So what else? Yeah, so Lance Archer retained his championship. Next thing we had on the card was Christian Cage teaming with Jungle Express, which is Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, versus the Private Party and Angelico. This match, like, who gives a shit about this one? There was a lot of tag team wrestling, I'll tell you that much. But yeah, this match didn't really intrigue me all that much. Christian Cage managed to hit a frog splash and get the 1, 2, 3. Very weak ending, actually, if you want to be honest. If you want to get honest with yourself, that really sucked. Next was Thunder Rosa and Julia I think it was Julia Hart. Yeah, Julia Hart. They went 1-on-1. Thunder Rosa wins this matchup very easily. Wasn't all that much of a back and forth match in my opinion. So, yeah, Thunder Rosa gets a W already right out of the gate in her debut match. Hey, WWE, why don't you take some notes? You know? You know about Karrion Kross? A guy that you've killed, basically? I don't care. He won his second match. He killed someone else in the process of getting a win. You know, Keith Lee, who will probably be in AEW very soon. I won't be surprised that Keith Lee goes to AEW and says, fuck to WWE. And I don't really care. I totally agree with him if that's how he feels, because he is getting fucked over royally. Big time. Anyone thinks Keith Lee's run in WWE's been successful, you are out of your fucking mind, and stop sniffing the glue and whatever other drugs you might be taking. Shit, man. You gotta be out of your damn mind. I'm not gonna go on any more tangent about WWE. Fuck that shit. So then it was the main event, and then I'll go over some of the segments that took place, which weren't too many of them actually in this episode. There was a lot more of just wrestling matches that took place on this show. This hardcore matchup between Nick Gage and Chris Jericho was a fucking gore fest. This was fucking brutal. You guys, fans were screaming how Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley's match at Full Gear in 2019 was just too barbaric. You're talking about a man who's, I think, about 50 years older or 51, somewhere around there. And then we're talking about Chris Jericho. Nick Gage, I'm not very sure of his age, and I don't particularly care because his in-ring wrestling ability is just complete trash. I don't give a flying fuck about Nick Gage. You guys can take his barbaric, people. Ric Flair said that Mick Foley's wrestling capabilities was horrible and all he could do is hardcore wrestling garbage and blah blah blah. I'd rather take Mick Foley's hardcore wrestling ability than watch this geek have to use tube-like light tubes and fucking crash it over people's skulls and take actual glass and put it in the middle of the ring. Shards of glass flew into the audience and almost hit these people in the fucking eye. That is ridiculous. This match was gory. It was different. I will give it that. It had the effect it needed to get over with me. But at the end of the day, I don't ever want to see it again. Never again. This was not a match that is qualified for mainstream TV or on pay-per-view even. This was too much. It was fucked up. It was different. I will give them that. It was fucking different as hell. But the issue is there was a lot of safety precautions that they needed to take, and they weren't meeting them. I mean, putting glass in the corner of the ring and having it fly into people's faces is not exactly what I would call safe. You had freaking Jericho bleeding like a stuffed pig. He had cuts all over his fucking body. This guy shouldn't be doing matches like this at the age of 50 years old. He's a wrestler. He ain't no fucking hardcore degenerate douchebag. God almighty, man. This guy Nick Gage, please go back to your hardcore wrestling garbage backyard crap and stick with it. Okay? Because you are, my friend, you may be fucking brutally sick as hell and unbelievably dangerous motherfucker, but my God, you do not fit on mainstream television. This is not something I would want my own kids watching. This is it's just not AEW to me, man. What Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley did at Full Gear, I keep wanting to say All Out, I don't know why. At Full Gear in 2019, yeah, it was brutal, it was fucking barbaric, but it wasn't to this level. They took it to another fucking level. Holy shit, man. Light tubes, fucking glass, baseball. Well, the baseball bat is different. I mean, they've used baseball bats before and shit like that. But my God, man, that was just too fucking sick. I'd rather stick with the kendo sticks. At least the worst case that takes place is the guy has a bunch of bruises all over his body and he's sore. Chris Jericho could have bled to death. God forbid he landed the wrong way, had something hit an artery or some shit, and he could have died. In the middle of this fucking match, he could have freaking died on live television. That is completely unsafe. That's one thing I will complain to Tony Khan right here and now. That was not a smart decision. This was not needed. Was it different? Yes, but they should have done it with a younger performer. Jericho did not need to be in a situation like this. Did it sell the whole labors of Jericho? Yes, I will give it that. He's going into next week sore as fuck, cut to hell, probably stitches all over his body more than likely, depending on how severe the cuts are. But, I mean, Was it really all that necessary? I mean, it was fucking sick. I wouldn't even allow my kids to watch that if I had kids. I mean, AEW is not exactly, I understand they're not a family show like WWE, but there's something you can at least have your kids watch. But with this matchup, man, you're like, hey kids, it's time to go to bed. You ain't watching this shit. I ain't having you have nightmares tonight. Wake me up in the fucking morning. I mean, or wake me up in the middle of the night, I should say. So, bottom line, at the end of the day, this match was definitely different, but completely unsafe. And I just don't agree with the decision that they did here. Not to mention, Nick Gage should not be a professional wrestler. I figured out his new profession. He likes to carry around pizza cutters. Well, if he likes pizza cutters so much, why doesn't he just go ahead and become a pizzeria chef? You know, open his own pizzeria shop and start cutting up some pizzas and say, hey, want a pizza pie? Like Mario or some shit. I cut off your fucking face and turn it into a pizza. I'll give you 8 slices of pizza face. You love it. I don't know, man. I'm just goofing off here. But, yeah. That's just my opinion, guys. Let me know on the comments down below what you guys think about the world title situation, because I'm a little confused on where they're going with this, which I'm kind of glad they're doing that. I'm glad they're kind of, you know, switching it up and kind of changing things, maybe swerve us to make us think it's not going to happen, and maybe it does. Do you guys think Orange Cassidy's going to get a shot, or do you think Daniel Bryan or CM Punk is going to take the title off of Kenny Omega when they make their in-ring debut or some shit? I don't know. But honestly, at this point in time, my best friend, he said to me, probably the best person to take the title off of him don't even work for the company. His name's Roman Reigns. That is pretty fucking sad. AEW and WWE have 2 world champions that don't have a roster that can compete with them for their world championship and actually be believable to take the title off of them. That's pretty fucked up. Anyway, guys, at this time, you know what to do. Hit the like button if you like this video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed to the channel, of course. And leave a comment down below on anything I had to say on this episode of Dynamite, and I'll definitely get back at you. I thank you again for watching, and have a great night, guys. Bye. Oh, I forgot to mention, guys, this video is going to be a little messed up, but what the hell. Malachi Black showed up. I mentioned this in a video, but I didn't really go in full detail in the beginning of what I was talking about in the first part of this video. But let's just say this is part 2 of it in the middle of this full-fledged video. So I apologize again to you. So this is part 2 of the Dynamite review. Malachi Black actually showed up. He attacked Cody when he was going to be interviewed backstage. And also on the ending of Dynamite, I forgot to even mention that in the first video, which was Juventud Guerrero. MJF is going to have Jericho challenge one-on-one again in a one-on-one matchup. This is not going to be a hardcore matchup. This stipulation involves Chris Jericho only winning by doing a maneuver off the top rope and getting the pinfall. So that should be a little interesting. Juventud Guerrero being a luchador wrestler. Haven't seen him in forever, man. Since the mid-2000s. I'd say maybe 2007 was the last time we saw him on mainstream wrestling at all. I don't think I've seen him in fucking forever. Hopefully he's still in good shape and he doesn't look like a bag of fat or anything. So that's the situation on that. The rest of it wasn't all that much, you know, much of promo work or segments or anything. And I already mentioned that Tony Khan, Tony Schiavone mentions that Tony Khan is having the United Center for Rampage on August 20th, so that should be pretty interesting. They may introduce CM Punk, as I mentioned in part 1. And that's pretty much it. I just thought I'd throw those 2 other segments in there on this review. So I know it's a little weird the way I'm doing this video, so I do apologize. Again, hit the like button if you like this video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel, and leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get back to you on that. And again, like I mentioned earlier in part 1, please go ahead and discuss anything about the AEW World Championship situation. I'd love to hear from you guys about that. And again, I apologize for the screw up here on my review. I forgot to mention a few other things, so I thought I'd throw that in there for you guys so that I didn't leave any important stuff out that I remember off the top of my head. So anyway, guys, you know what to do. Hit the like button if you liked the video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, and leave a comment down below. Thanks. Bye.